My name is Crystal Feature, and I'm the Business Services Consultant Supervisor. And today I'm just going to give you guys some more information about the summer PACE program that will be taking place in June, and just the process leading up to the process and what the program entails. I'm going to share my screen because I have a PowerPoint today, and when I'm done, you guys can ask as much questions as you guys have. The more questions, the better, because then everyone have a better understanding of the program. Let me share my screen now. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Second. Okay. So this year, 2026, that was fast. Um, I'm going to be discussing the Tampa-based summer hires employer information session via this PowerPoint. And on today's agenda, we're going to be talking about what the summer PACE program is, the benefits of the summer PACE, the programs and the metrics that we've been going through for the past couple of years. I think this is our 7th year, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 8th. The youth eligibility, employer eligibility and the process, target industries and positions, and then the mentoring and impact that the employers are going to be giving to these young adults. We have key dates to discuss, and then the questions and answers. Okay? So there's a name change here. It's Summer PACE. So it's CareerSource Tampa-based Summer PACE program. So we've merged with Pinellas. So this is for both Pinellas and Hillsborough County. I'm gonna put that up there. So the program that we're providing is a subsidized work experience for the young adults, and who are age appropriate, and it's with 15, because we have other programs for 15-year-olds. So it's 16 to 24. Is designed to encourage the youth to take responsibility for their learning, to understand and manage their career options, and to develop social skills in an encouraging environment that will help them interact positively with others. Introduces youth to the world of work and helps them to develop a thorough understanding of employer expectations. Provide opportunities for career awareness and exploration, and it celebrates their success. Why have a summer job program? So, I'm sorry, high youth unemployment rate in Hillsborough County and Pinellas County, no centralized summer program initiative. CareerSource is also for the past 5 to 7 years. We've been running this program, and it's been very successful, and it keeps youth busy during the summer. So, okay, there you go. So it's been 7 years. So summer of 2019 was the launch of the CareerSource program, and this is our 7th year. So I'm very excited about it because we're doing it with Pinellas this year. So the benefits for the youth and the young adults is that it provides a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to have a job during the summer, gain valuable critical skills that employers want and need, provides exposure to new experiences and ideas, provides opportunity for career exploration, networking opportunities. They learn to value earned wages and stimulate our economy. So the benefits for the employers. So it helps to develop and invest in a future talent pipeline. Mentor motivated youth/young adults. Accomplish critical projects that otherwise you may not get to do or achieve. Provide career exposure and career pathways to the next generation. Stimulate and reinvigorate existing workers. Hire and train at no cost to you, and to develop talent. This year, we're right now we want to serve, I think, approximately 400 youth this year. I think it's the same across the bay. We want to engage 100 or more employers, and basically we want to teach the youth our work skills and assist employers with our summer hiring needs. So that's in a gist of our goal for the summer program. So we have, as I mentioned, that it starts at 15, but for the paid work experience, which is why you guys are here, is 16 to 24. It's going to be 6 weeks. It's going to be $15 per hour with 20 hours a week. Our employer on record that's going to be taking care of like the level 1 background check is and paying the youth is going to be Manpower. Workman's compensation is covered by the state of Florida, the Department of Economic Opportunity. It's now DOC actually. I need to update this PowerPoint. And then we have the virtual exploration, CXP. That's for the 15-year-olds. It's a 4-week program where they get like it goes by weeks. So they get to self-evaluation, they get a self-evaluation to include learning style, personality assessment, and what motivates them. Week 2 is career exploration. It's a virtual college, it has a virtual college tours and financial literacy. And then week 3, they go over networking and communication, which is the importance of a professional social media presence and elevator pitch. And then week 4 is a culmination project. And they earn money every week. So it's incentives earned weekly. And then we have the Leadership Academy, Young Leaders of Tomorrow. That's also a 6-week leadership program. 4-week hybrid, extensive, interactive, in-person leadership training that encourage responsibility, but builds confidence, enhance employability, and builds on social behavior. The final 2 weeks, working dedicated to entrepreneurial boot camp training. It's a training, and as all 3 programs, they also get incentives earned on a weekly basis. So the eligibility criteria for the youth. They have to be a Hillsborough or Pinellas County resident, and they have to be between the ages of 16 to 24 to participate. And then there's more eligibility requirements, and there's a case manager that will go over those eligibility criteria. So they get to sit with a case manager and go over other barriers or other things that deem them eligible. But for if they're living in Hillsborough or Pinellas and they're 16 to 24, that's 2 strikes right there that say, hey, these young adults are eligible for the program. For the employers, they have to have a brick and mortar in Hillsborough or Pinellas County. Nonprofits, government, and private for-profit companies. They have to be willing to hire in our targeted industry, and have meaningful positions. Understand and commit to mentoring. This is very important because the program, as I mentioned before, is for young adults that are trying to get into the workforce. And I'm not saying that employers use this as free labor. I don't want to accuse anyone of that. Absolutely not. But it's not free labor. It's mentoring the youth. It's teaching them how to handle themselves in a work professional environment. We're getting them ready for graduating high school and going out into the workforce. So it's a mentorship. It's a mentoring program. And then once we guys have all of this and you guys understand how the program works, we execute a paid work experience agreement. And that's the paperwork side of things. So the process is to submit an online application using the provided link. Staff evaluation and eligibility assessment. We have business services consultants that will go over your application, that will reach out to you to do an on-site assessment, that could go more in depth about the program as well. They will notify you on if you're eligible or not, and then what are the next steps. Once you guys are eligible, like I mentioned, the on-site assessment is done. You sign the agreement, and then you attend the youth summit, which is also very important, and I have the dates coming up. As I mentioned before earlier, Manpower serves as the employer of record and uses PeopleNet as its timekeeping system. So all of that is there. You don't have to worry about any of that. Manpower takes care of that portion. The worksite application is online. There's a link for that or a QR code that you guys could scan and complete the application online. It's just to provide pertinent information on your business. There's a training plan that has up to 10 tasks that the youth will perform during those 6 weeks in the summer, and ensure that the signing authority is available to sign the final agreement. So it's just preliminary information that we need before we start the agreement process. Next steps. So the business development manager will contact you within 48 hours, and the on-site will be scheduled. And then documents required would be like the W-9, the business tax receipt, a SunBiz, and a WARN notice, if any, if you have one. Execute a final agreement, and once again, attend the summit. Okay, so I mentioned that the employer should fall into our targeted industries. And our targeted industries in both Hillsborough and Pinellas counties are manufacturing and construction, and also trades, hospitality and tourism, transportation, logistics, retail, financial shared services, healthcare, and IT. So if you fall into any of these targeted industries, that also makes you eligible. It says, what roles will young adults have in the summer program? And this is just a synopsis and hopeful of the positions that you guys could offer them. I'm not going to go over everything, but like medical assistant is one. Digital marketing is a good one. We see a lot of youth that are interested in IT, digital marketing, accounting interns, administrative office specialist or assistant. Junior counselors is another popular one, but these are just some of the positions that we are hoping that employers have to offer these young adults. So the program metrics is that 48.5% are males and 51.5% are female that apply and attend this program. A majority, the race demographics of African American leads the way with majority of the pool of candidates. But I just want to say that during these programs, for 2025 last year, 98% of the individuals completed the program in Pinellas, and 97% of them completed it in Hillsborough. So the percentage rate of following through with this 6-week program is very high and very successful. So we have career coaches that are going to be in, I'm going to say, constant contact with you during those 6 weeks. They have structured activities where the employer/supervisor offers guidance, support, and encouragement to develop the competence and character of the youth. So these career counselors are basically there to prepare them to work with the employer for the summer. They foster career awareness and exposure. They provide real life on-the-job training experiences, and they're assigned to the youth. So as an employer, you're going to have that career coach in the middle that you could discuss anything with them. If the youth is always on their phone, always late, whatever issue you have, because it's mentorship, I don't want the first thing that an employer thinks about is termination, because we're mentoring them and we're trying to upskill them. So with that career coach, it will be the best person to say, hey, John Doe is always late. Is there a way you could talk to them to say, hey, they need to be here 8 o'clock every morning? That way the career coach could take it back to them and start to train and coach them again. Or John Doe is always on the phone. That's not a part of being in a professional environment. I've spoken to them. I think it's best that I tell you guys, can you talk to that individual to say, hey, being on the phone is not a part of our everyday business duties here. This is where we're training them and getting them ready and prepared for an employer that's potentially is going to say, hey, second strike, you're out of here. We want to start to just prepare them so we can prevent that from happening. So, but there's going to be a career coach. You will meet them. They'll introduce themselves, and they will be doing site visits during the 6 weeks as well. So for this year, we're going to be hosting for Hillsborough County 2 summits, and for Pinellas County 2 summits. I'm going to give you guys the dates. Youth will attend the customized work readiness soft skills training, where they will learn communication skills, flexibility and adaptability, interviewing skills and how to work job fair / youth summit, interpersonal skills, leadership skills, problem solving, and how to get and keep the job. Employers and direct supervisors will be invited to attend the job fairs and will receive a supervisor orientation and hire youth face-to-face interviews. It's kind of like, I call it speed dating. So at the summit, they'll come up to you, you interview them, and I would suggest that if you think they're a good fit, you hire them on the spot. No youth cannot leave those summits without having a job. So they have to be hired on that day. As I mentioned before, the key dates. So we have some key dates. January 19th, it passed, but that's when the program application launched for the employers and participants. And as of right now, from February 7th to April 25th, they're doing intake and registering the youth that will be participating in the program. On May 15th, the employer application deadline, it will be closed on May 15th. So you have until May 15th to apply to the program. All agreements must be executed by May 22nd. That means that on May 22nd, your agreement has to have the signature from our CEO on there in order for you to participate in the program. On May 29th on May 29th and June 4th will be the Youth Summit in Pinellas. Locations are to be determined. On June 3rd and June 5th, it will be Hillsborough County. Once again, the location will to be determined. Your business development manager will reach out to you to contact you on the dates again and the locations. On June 15th is the first day of work for the participants, and on July 27th will be the last day of work for the participants. Okay? So monitoring. Bi-weekly on-site and or virtual monitoring visits are planned and unplanned. So you will get a heads up, I think, by the career coaches, whether they're going to pop up or not. They'll let you know how many times. They'll go more in depth with you once you do the first initial meeting. It ensures that participants are aware of their duties and are in a positive learning environment. It gives you a chance to discuss the progression of the participant and their professional development. It's continuous and ongoing as needed, depending on feedback from participants and supervisors. Okay, so where to apply? I have the QR code here, and I just want to introduce you. Well, you guys know who I am. And then we have Leandra Foster. She's the director for programs of the youth. That's the participant side, as well as their program coordinator. That's Danielle Copeland. And you guys will get a chance to meet them. But if you need or have any questions, get our contact information. You can reach out to us, and we'll be happy to answer those questions. And we've came to the end of the PowerPoint. So I'm going to stop sharing.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I do have a quick question.
Sure.
Love all of that. I know we will get more information around location and time for the youth summit that we would be participating in. Ideally,
Yes.
we would love to participate in the Pinellas one.
Okay.
It's just closer for us. But so after the 6 week training period, if it's someone, like, let's say if they're obviously not going to school afterwards, I'm assuming it's someone over 18 in this case that I'm
Okay.
talking about. And we would want to hire them on, we would be able to full time.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
If
Just want
you
to
are,
confirm that.
and that's what it's for. If you guys, like you mentioned, they're 18, they're not in high school, and you're interested because they did a phenomenal job and you want this person on, you could definitely hire them on. And
Fantastic.
I don't know if Yohani. Okay, so you
Yes.
are working with Linda. And I just want to let you guys know, because there's also other programs that could bridge the summer pays program. So
Okay.
if we have an upskill position from the summer and you have an OJT contract, or you would want to do an OJT contract, we
We
could
do.
also put them into that contract as
Fantastic.
well. And then
Awesome.
I don't, I'm sure Linda explained to you that with
Yes.
OJT, when you sign a contract, they have to become a permanent and full-time employee. So
Yes.
okay, good. So there's ways around it as well.
Right. Fantastic. And I know we have already done, like, we did the on-site, we did all of that with Linda, so we're good to go on that end. But that was my only question. I think I know Kim and I are very excited to, come on board and participate on the summit, and hopefully find a couple of, candidates that can join us and eventually join us full time. So excited
That's
about
amazing. I love to hear that.
that.
Any
Thank
more
you.
questions? No, you're welcome. Let me check the chat.
I have
Okay,
a question.
okay, go ahead.
Yes, so I know that my husband and I want to, we've already done all the paperwork. We've been talking with a couple of the ladies from CareerSource, but we're in Hillsborough County, and I know we only want about two young men to be in the program as we want to hire full time. But what does that look like? Because my husband only wanted two to pull from the pool of at the summit that you guys are going to do, but I was kind of nervous about just two if they may not fit for the program that we have because we plan on hiring them full time where they can actually be a part of our pre-apprenticeship program for a year and then
Mhm.
hopefully move on. So should what does it look like if we get two or I mean four and then a couple of them we may not decide to keep? What happens with them? Because we're
So
gonna
with
feel
the
bad.
summer, okay, so with the summer pays program, and remember I mentioned mentorship. If you're gonna hire four, right, we ask that you please keep them on for the duration of the 6 weeks. Because
Yes.
remember,
Yeah.
summer pays, yes, summer pays is just for 6 weeks, and the candidates are going to know that after 6 weeks, there's no employment, right? So they're
Mhm.
prepared for that. So if you hire them on and they don't work out for those six, I mean, you don't want to hire them full time permanently, that's fine because they know that, okay, I'm going back to school or this is not a permanent job.
Okay.
So I just for you when you're doing the interviews at the summit, try and gauge what you're looking for as close as possible. But once you hire them on, that you have to hire them that day. Once you hire them on, just know you're going to have them for those 6 weeks.
Yes, and we're good
But
with that. We just
okay,
don't, we thinking about ahead. We don't
of
I
course,
think he
if
don't want to just, feel like he's pushing off some of them, he wants.
no,
Yeah.
they're fully aware it's only a 6 week program. There's no promising of full-time employment.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
No, of course. Someone did ask, Rebecca asked, will you be sending out a PowerPoint? So what I'm planning on doing is because this is being recorded and I'm going to have marketing like because we're on the call for a good 5 minutes before the actual call started. I have marketing shrink it down and then I'll send out this recording. Let me see. I have another question. Can you give examples of job responsibilities, not just categories the participants have completed in the past? Well, as I mentioned before, I could give an example of a company that hired on for the summer digital marketing. I actually did an on-site for that, and they were doing web designs. They were doing actual printing, actual like posters, like things that you see at the mall, like what goes on the glass advertisements for businesses. So that's one example of responsibilities that I've seen. I've been to a law firm. That one is a little bit more of administrative work where they're doing filing, working. The actual law firm was teaching them about their database and what they did on a daily basis. So that was more administrative, answering phones and stuff like that. So I mean, and that's me doing those on sites like hands on. So I was there and I saw what they were doing. I think that was Layla. I hope that answered your question. Okay. What is an OJT contract? I am interested too. Teresa. Okay, so basically, and I'm going to give a quick synopsis, and I'm going to have a BSc reach out to you to that could go even more in depth. But an on-the-job training is for adults that's older, because remember, summer pays have that age range, 16 to 24. But we have adults older than 24 that needs jobs as well. So what we do is we have on-the-job training where we do reimbursement for that particular candidate while you train them to work for you. And then eventually at the end of training, they become permanent full-time employees of yours. But there's more to it. So I'm gonna have someone reach out to you. You could drop your information in the chat and we'll follow up with you, Teresa, on that. But that's just a synopsis. Okay, so the county, okay, so we pay for a portion of it. So for OJT, it's 50% of reimbursement of the training hours with a cap of $5,000. And if your company has 49 or less employees there, it's a 75% reimbursement with a special exception from our CEO. We just have to say why we think this company, small business, needs $7,500, but that's also a cap. That's the cap of reimbursement for small businesses. So we do reimburse. So while the candidate is doing training, you will be paying them. And at the end of training, the last day of training, we'll start the reimbursement process, and that will be your reimbursement rate, depending on 50% or 75%. I'm sorry, I'm still in the chat, but if anyone has any other questions, let me know. I'm just going down in the chat just to see what I'm missing. Do you have any programs that overlap with summer hires or camp? Our camp program runs longer than the summer hires program, and we utilize and have hired candidates on our staff, but need help on either side. So, Katie, these are case by case basis, but I can't tell you yes or no because everything is based off budget. So I'm not gonna say yes. We could extend the program, and I can't say no as well because it's all on a case by case basis to see if we have money left over that can accommodate your time lapse. So we could talk more in depth on that, but as of right now, this is not a yes or a no.
I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So Kim and I were wondering if you guys have any opportunities for volunteering. We're trying to get more involved with the community in providing resume reviews. Like for me, coming from talent acquisition, recruiting, and then Kim being HR manager. If there's any opportunities that you guys have for us to come in and volunteer our time, please let us know.
Oh, absolutely. And I will let Linda discuss with you. We have different programs. We have like the professional networking group that we do on Thursday. Actually, we have one today at 11. We have the Workforce Wednesdays that we have every third Wednesday, I think it is, and career networking group. So we have a lot of different groups that absolutely would love if you guys could volunteer your time and come in and speak to our candidates. So Linda would definitely give you the schedule, your available time, and we could, plan something for the future. But I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we can definitely connect on LinkedIn. Okay. Any more questions, guys? I'm here and I'm still here after. If you guys get off of this call and I was like, oh, I have a question, you can email me and I'll be delighted to answer your questions.